We've been in business since about 1989, and typical of a lot of businesses, we are continuing to grow and expand our operations. However, our processes remained the same, and so while it was effective, it wasn't too efficient. So as I started to think about it, I'm like, well, we really need to, start to explore automation, and that's kind of what started us on our digital transformation. With our digital transformation, we had a large IT budget, so we also wanted to make sure we could satisfy that budget as we started to implement new automated tools. So we just really wanted to just make sure that our customers were getting their invoices timely and securely. And one of the things we really liked about Lockstep Collect was that the customers could get an email with a secure link to your site, and they could view all of the invoice information right there on the site using a secure link without having to log in with a user ID and password, because we didn't want to make, in this day and age, there's so many username and passwords we have to remember. We didn't want our customers to have to remember yet another password and make that process more difficult for them. So that was one of the great things that we found with the Lockstep Collect. It was all just a large, essentially Excel spreadsheet that continued to grow, and then we would just essentially have, aging categories and, highlight different color highlights, and, a comment section that essentially just referenced the collection attempts that we had with each customer. But, it was a standalone process, and it didn't interact with any of our systems. So it really was not time friendly, because it didn't give us the ability to kind of react before, sending off new business or any of that, with the sales team and the accounting team. So it was, not an effective way to operate. The most useful is kind of the notes section, so that you can go in right into Lockstep and you can, send off an email, and then you can, record your responses, and the emails come directly into Lockstep so that you have a record of it. And it also gave, other departments, our client services team, the ability to go in before they sent out new business or schedule new business to see if there were any, old invoices, outstanding invoices that needed to get paid before we then yet incurred more debt for that particular customer. I think it was certainly a less manual process, and it was, a lot less overwhelming when you don't keep on top of it, and it kind of gets away from you. It's much harder to kind of wind it back in, and your volume is much higher. So now I think we have our greater than 90 days and greater than 60 days at about 3% of our total AR. So it's a very manageable percentage that you can continue to keep in touch with those customers that are past due to see what the reason is behind it. And, it's not so overwhelming, and you're able to do it efficiently once a week, as opposed to it being this huge task that, I kind of hanging over your head. I don't know how, it really we would have been able to really continue on status quo without that, because people just weren't going into the office to, get their mail or going in once a week. So if you're only collecting your invoices once a week, then you're already behind. So, I think having, the ability to essentially operate from anywhere in the world with not having to go into the office certainly aids in your business, and you can't do that if you're not automated.